It's my pleasure to introduce Maggie Johnson. Maggie Johnson is our Director of Education and University Relations at Google. She also, most importantly, you'll find all the bios in your folder, so I won't read for you, you can do that. But most importantly, she was the one who, through her conversations with various people in this room and various others, came up with the idea of having the Faculty Institute. So we have her to thank for being the brains behind this. Thank you, Maggie. And on a personal note, she is one of my favorite faculty members from 16 years ago at Stanford. So thank you, Maggie.
Good morning. So on behalf of everyone that works in education here at Google, I'd like to just say welcome. We really appreciate your taking the time to be here. I know how busy everybody is, especially right before the academic year starts. So thank you for coming, and we're really happy to see you because we have been planning and working on this for quite some time, and we're very pleased that this day has finally come. So I thought I'd just take a few minutes to talk about what we want to accomplish at this institute and why Google's doing this, just to give you a sense of why we're interested in supporting this work. So there's been a number of encouraging developments that are starting to bring about some positive change in public education. There's some highly successful charter school systems that have started up and are working really well. There's a number of interesting new innovative approaches that we're seeing in the classroom, things like this flipped classroom that you might have read about in your pre-work, where the students are sort of absorbing the content as homework and then going into the classroom to do problem solving and working one-on-one with each other or with their teacher. Very interesting new ideas for things that could be done differently in the classroom. And then there's a large variety of high-quality online learning content and systems that have become available. This allows teachers to create these blended experiences for students in the classroom. It also allows them to supplement the classroom experience and to individualize the learning for students who might be wanting to work ahead or for students who might need a little extra practice. So the common theme of all of these successful innovations that we're seeing is this use of technology. And it's, whether it's web resources like search or Wikipedia or learning management systems or systems that support learning and teaching. These could be like online tutors or videos, simulations, or these drilling systems in math, vocabulary. There's a number of different resources that are available that are very powerful and have lots of potential applications for students in the classroom. And then we have collaborative applications like Google Docs. So this is what we at Google kind of term educational technology. All of these types of systems, applications that support teaching and learning or deliver educational content. And this is what we would like to do. We would like to get educational technology integrated into the curriculum in every classroom across the country over the next 3 to 5 years. Actually, that's too long. 2 to 3 years. That's too long. Soon. We want to do this really soon. And I wanted to just mention, too, when we're talking about educational technology, it's really not about Google's products and services. That Google's products and services are a small portion of the huge array of things that are out there. And it's really not about us. It's about all these other tools as well as the things that we offer. We want to see math teachers using systems like ALEX for gifted students. We want to see them flipping their classrooms. We want to see science teachers using simulations in order to illustrate concepts in physics or biology. We want to see language arts teachers using collaborative tools to support teamwork in this active participation in writing. And we want to see digital literacy. I mean, when you think about all the different ways that we communicate and that our kids communicate, there's chat, there's email, there's tweets, there's blogs, there's Google+, there's all of these different ways of communicating, and each one of them has its own etiquette, it has its own cultural sensitivities, and they just know this. They know how to communicate effectively with it, but the more you make this explicit to them, the more they understand how this is impacting our culture and our society. So this digital literacy is a really very important point. So educational technology is a big part of what we really want to start seeing getting integrated into the classroom, but it's not just about technology. If it was about technology, then we would have seen a revolution in education in the 50s when television was supposed to do that. We would have seen a revolution in the 80s and 90s when personal computers were supposed to revolutionize education. And it didn't happen because we forgot a major part of the equation, which is the teacher. The teacher has to be a part of this. And it's a really interesting situation now because educational technology of the sorts that I'm talking about have the potential for students to really take ownership of their own learning. And what has to happen is the teacher has to trust that the students can do that. And that's a really big step. We have this potential for students to learn on their own, to learn in groups, to really take control and to really be an active partner in their own learning. But the teacher has to trust it. And this is very, very different than the status quo. The status quo is for a teacher to feed knowledge to their students piece by piece, lecture by lecture, topic by topic, and be in complete control of that process. And that's the way it's been for 100 years or more, and that's the way it still is in many classrooms in the country. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's not working anymore. We've got a boatload of data to show that this is not the way that students learn nowadays. They are wired differently. I mean, outside of the classroom, they're using technology everywhere. It's pervasive. They're multitasking, they're dealing with all these different levels of abstraction, and they're just completely wired differently than we were when lectures used to work for us. So what we have to do is we have to figure out how to adjust the teaching and the learning to map to the way they're wired now. Because, you know, spoon feeding it to them and lecturing to them is just not going to do it. And it's ridiculous to have this notion that they have technology in every part of their life outside the classroom, and they go in the classroom and they have to turn it off. It's the, you know, these tools are the most powerful educational tools we have, used properly, if we can effectively get that integrated into the curriculum. So, you know, to have it not be available in the classroom is really, it's too bad, and we really need to change that. So, needless to say, this is sort of where you come in. If we really want to focus on teachers, the faculty of our pre-service teachers and the faculty who work in teacher preparation have this great opportunity to, you know, develop a new breed, to create a whole new generation of teachers who understand how to effectively use educational technology, integrate it into the classroom, and more importantly, adjust their role as it's happening in the classroom. There's times when lecture is appropriate. There's times when it's appropriate to be a facilitator. There's times when it's appropriate to get on the floor and play with the kids. All of these different approaches, that flexibility and that ability to kind of read the room and understand what the students need, that's what we need teachers to be able to do now. And that change in role is just as important as the educational technology, you know, the tools that the teacher is using for it. So where you come into it is you are the ones that have the capability and the opportunity to create this new generation of teachers who have these new capabilities. So that's what we hope to accomplish over the next couple days. Today it's mostly about raising awareness and understanding how teachers are currently using technology in the classroom in really amazing ways and how they have learned to adjust their roles in order to make that happen effectively in the classroom. And then tomorrow and Friday, we want to explore how you might start making some changes on your campus, in your courses, in your curriculum, that will help pre-service teachers start to internalize this and understand you can serve as a role model for them. And that's really what we want to talk about. We want to brainstorm some ideas, and then you'll have an opportunity to develop project proposals around something tangible that you can do over the next 6 to 9 months, either on your campus, in your courses, or in your curriculum, that will start to affect this change. And Google's very interested in supporting and funding these proposals. We really want to be a part of this. And that, of course, brings me to the question, why Google? Why would we be interested in this? And there's really 3 reasons. Like any company in the United States, and particularly high-tech companies, we're very concerned about the future capabilities of our workforce. We're concerned about our ability to compete globally when we have the current state of our education system to support that. We're concerned about that. And the limited pipeline of STEM students coming through the system, it's a huge concern. The second reason is that technology is ubiquitous. It's pervasive, it's everywhere. We need to have everyone in our society be able to deal with these sophisticated, powerful tools and devices and systems in order to work effectively in any domain going forward. It's not just computer science anymore. It's really, you really need to be able to use these tools in any domain that our students might go into. So we want to raise the bar. Because it is such a powerful set of tools, and it is such a part of our society and our culture, we need everybody to learn how to do this. And I mean, Google and many high-tech companies, and there will be many, many more, because this is big business now. We're very interested in making sure that, starting with the students, they really understand how to use technology and use it in all kinds of different ways. So that's the second reason. The third reason is probably the most important one. Here at Google, we really feel like we're sort of at a tipping point. There are so many new startups doing educational technology. There's so many new resources coming online, mostly web-based resources, and a lot of it's because of the interactive abilities of the new web technologies. I mean, if you think 10 years ago you had static HTML pages, you've got complete engaging interactivity now in a way that we never had. And people are using that to create really engaging educational experiences. So that's happening. You've got teachers trying all these experiments. You've got all these new approaches that, I mean, you have whole new school systems being enabled by technology. So this is all happening. It's kind of bubbling around right now, and we feel like it's just about to explode. And it's really got the potential to take off, and we just sort of want to push it over the line and help it happen. So that's one of the most important reasons why we wanted to bring everyone here. Really what we want to accomplish, as I mentioned, is have all of you understand the power of this technology, how it's being used effectively. Get some time to really play with it yourself, which you'll have that opportunity this afternoon, and then to think about how you can make tangible change when you go back and help your pre-service teachers understand how to take this forward and really get it going. I mean, CSU is one of the largest teacher prep programs in the country. If we can get everybody who does teacher prep in CSU to start really making this happen, we could revolutionize education, which is what we want to do. So, thank you.